Welcome to Lewd Mood. I'm Becky.
And I'm Kelly.
And we're your hosts, two 40-something-year-old college roommates ready to take you on a wild ride through the bizarre, scandalous, and downright lewd news of the world and our own lives.
This is going to be good, folks. We promise you'll have a blast. So, without further ado, let's do this. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the Lewd Mood podcast. I am Kelly, and I'm here with my bestie,
Becky. Hi. I'm here.
Oh my God, Becky, this has been a wild ride. This is my birthday.
Episode 5.
Episode 5.
Episode 5.
Whew.
Plus, really it's 6 because we had that bonus episode, which I thought was some of our best work.
Actually, yeah, I think that was actually our best episode, that bonus episode. I've also been getting a lot of text messages and phone calls like, you quit your job? You quit your job?
Ooh.
What happened?
Yeah.
Are you okay? The answer is no, I'm not okay. I mean, you've met me. Am I okay? Yes. Am I physically okay? Yes. Am I okay? I don't know.
Is anybody really okay?
No. But that's all right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did this weekend. I was out for my birthday and I ran into somebody who was an old coworker, and I felt really good about quitting my job because I found out that this man started off at a higher base pay than me, and he has half the experience that I do. And was making more money. And I was like, I knew something was going on.
Could that be any more cliche that a man was making more of his base pay doing the exact same job as a woman, especially a woman with twice the experience?
Yeah.
Come on.
So I was like, I feel really good about leaving this situation. Now, are there women in that company that make a lot of money and that do really well? Absolutely. But
yeah, of course.
Yeah, you started me off at like the pauper salary, saying that everybody starts there. Oh, everyone that is not a man starts at that rate.
You know what's so interesting, Kelly, is I have twice in my professional career seen the salaries of some of my counterparts with less experience and have seen that they make more money than me. And I'm a negotiator and I've always negotiated my salary. So I always thought that I was like doing well, but I'm like, why am I continually undervalued here? It really is disheartening. It's demotivating for real. I don't know why employers continue to do this stuff, but I'm sorry, but I'm so glad you got out of that situation.
Yeah, this guy with less experience making like a lot more than me. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, I knew there was something going on.
Fishy.
And you know what the guy said? He goes, well, I'm a good negotiator. And I was like, you have a dick, sir. That is your negotiation tool.
Absolutely the truth. I think that in every situation, but especially in this situation, for crying out loud.
Yeah, I was like, okay, bye.
Bye. Well, good for you. It sounds like that was the best career move you could have ever made. On to bigger and better things.
Yeah. And, like the bummer is like, there's so many great people that I worked with that I was like, I love these people.
Yeah.
But I was like, you're not getting me at the pauper rate when there's people that are willing to pay a going rate.
Yeah.
So I start my new job in another week. I've had a good time.
Yeah.
Gotten some
You needed it.
My eye isn't twitching anymore. my hair is not falling out.
Oh, well, all good news all around. I love it. That's awesome. God, I wish I had a fun update for you. I don't really, except for I am traveling a lot in the next couple of weeks, which is going to make podcasting super interesting because we have very limited time. I'm going to visit my stepdaughter this weekend in Texas. She is an avid listener, so shout out to Mara.
Shout out Mara.
We love you, Mara. The whole fam bam's going. We're taking the kiddies, and we have a whole weekend of things planned, and I'm very excited to go visit her. So I get back Sunday, and then I turn around and leave Wednesday for a conference in DC. So it'll be fun.
I love that. I am traveling to Indiana because I am in a wedding.
Nice.
So I have bridesmaid duty. So
you do.
We're calling it Sam Jam 2024. Big event.
Oh, I love it.
I'm picking up 3 of my friends at the airport on Friday, and they're flying in from South Carolina, Nevada, and North Dakota.
Fun.
And we are just going to road trip down to Indiana and have a grand old time celebrating our friendship.
I feel like there's going to be some good stories that I cannot wait to hear.
Yes, there probably will be.
Who doesn't love a wedding?
I know.
Especially when you get to be like a part of all the festivities. It's going to be a good time. Drink your water, girl. Drink your
I
water.
know. I'm like, I am starting my electrolytes now. And I was like,
Smart.
can you include in the bridal party gifts activated charcoal?
And liquid IV. Yeah.
Because, my friend that's getting married is like a few years younger than me.
Hmm.
And, they're all in their mid 30s. And I'm like, grandma over here, I'm now well into my 40s.
Yes.
I need,
Well into.
well,
You're 42.
I just snuck into my 40s and I'm like, I cannot, I still want to drink like I am in my
Yeah,
30s.
but I can't.
But my body will physically shuts down. So
It does.
hook
Yeah.
your girl up with some activated charcoal. Get those.
When you're elderly, that it's really difficult to process alcohol quickly.
I
In
know.
your elder state,
I know. I'm
yes.
like, give me some Gatorade. Oh
Yeah.
man. Speaking of Gatorade,
Oh, yeah.
yes. Should we get into our recap roundup?
Yeah, we have a lot of updates for you guys.
Yeah,
A lot.
yeah. Because I want to talk about some exciting news with Gatorade, which is Caitlin Clark. We're Caitlin Clark Stan account.
We are.
I watched the draft. I like cried like a baby watching all these women get drafted. I'm like, their dreams are
I know,
being
I
made
loved it.
true.
It was so good.
I was
I
watching it
watched
with
it
my
too.
parents, and they were like crying too. I was like,
Oh.
I mean, my dad wasn't crying. I'm sure he's listening.
Oh, no,
He
of
was
course
not.
not.
He
No.
had no tears in his eyes, but he was crying a
No.
little bit.
Nice.
But Caitlin Clark, she just dropped for Gatorade a water bottle that she had
Yeah.
specifically designed as all the colors she likes and all this stuff, and a towel, and it shut down the internet. Like it shut down. The site
Crashed the Gatorade website.
crashed it. Like
That's awesome.
that is like,
Can you imagine?
oh my god, such a win.
Heck yeah.
Plus, her boyfriend
Absolutely.
works for the Pacers, so that's like a win all the way around for that girl.
That's super convenient. I don't know if I knew that.
Yeah, she's just thriving right now. So
I love it.
good for her.
She is a queen. Good for you. Shout out to Caitlin. We love you. I have an update for you, Kelly.
Oh my god, please tell me.
Gypsy
Yes, that's
Rose,
what I was hoping for.
everybody's favorite ex convict. Miss Gypsy Rose, we talked about her, I believe, on the first episode. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So way back, throw back about a month or so, we talked about Miss Gypsy Rose. She's recently out of prison
Yep.
for plotting to kill her mother with her boyfriend. And she got out of prison last year. She moved in with her boyfriend, now husband.
Love it.
And we reported that they're getting divorced. So they definitely are. And the reasons behind the divorce are apparently her husband had a little bit of a snoring problem.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
I mean, you
she
could look
also
at
couldn't.
him and be like, that man's got sleep apnea.
He does. He weighs almost 500 pounds. He is a big
Big
man.
boy.
And she could not stand the snoring and the temperature of his body in bed. Now, as somebody who's been in a relationship for the last 14 years, can I just tell you that is so true? I'm like, girl, the times I've woken up in the middle of the night and wanted to file for divorce at 3 a.m. because of the sounds coming out of my husband's body or the temperature coming off, radiating off his body, trust me, like I get it. So she clearly was not used to sleeping with another person, and that was irritating her. Also, apparently he was a food
Oh
hoarder.
my gosh.
Yeah, so he loved make a little trip to Costco or Sam's Club, buy a shit ton of bulk food and have it in the house, and then also take a lot of to-go food, put it in the refrigerator, and never eat it.
Mm.
So I guess he left the house for a day, and she literally threw everything away.
Oh my god.
Everything away. So she's just had enough of his shit. So she went out, she got herself a little plastic surgery, got herself a rhinoplasty,
Good for
got a
her.
little nose job.
Love that.
She is just changing her life. So I did hear, but I couldn't find that maybe she's getting her teeth fixed because, her mother had her teeth removed as a child. So she doesn't
So,
have any teeth.
yeah. It's
Um,
silver teeth.
yeah. Oh, God, it's bad. So I don't know what that means, if she's getting those like implants or if she's getting dentures or what it is, but she is going to get herself a full ass makeover. And I called it OnlyFans is around the corner. I'm sure of it. I am sure of it.
Get that
So
money, girl.
I mean, got to do it however you want. And trust me, she would make millions
Yeah.
of dollars on OnlyFans. Not that I like think she should go that route necessarily. I think she's probably capable of other things, but
Yeah. Listen,
I could see why she would.
get those new teeth. Get that new
Maybe take a beat.
nose. Just take
Maybe just take
a
a
beat,
beat for a minute.
just take some
Yeah.
time. Really get to know what's out there. You don't have to just like slide into the first snore that comes your way. Take some time.
But,
You can have new teeth. You can have a new nose. I mean, you're winning in life.
I kind of feel like this girl has like not lived.
No.
So now she's trying to get 20 years of living in a very short amount of time. So she has done more than most people do in their life
Yeah.
in a very short period of time. So, I mean, I kind of get it. So, yeah, I had to update you. That Gypsy Rose is fascinating to us. And yeah, we will continue to follow along on her journey and share with you guys. I do have one more
Oh
update
my god.
to just shift gears.
Yes.
There's no great transition to this, but one of our very loyal listeners sent me an article. Last episode, we talked about coked out pets,
Yeah.
right? Animals accidentally getting into some cocaine slash pills. And we missed a very specific animal that we needed to report on, and that is dolphins.
Yes. Dolphins.
So, dolphins. Who would have thought, right? Everyone loves dolphins, gentle creatures. We love them. Apparently, they like to take a little bite out of a puffer fish. Now, if you don't know, puffer fish are poisonous
Yeah.
to humans, but apparently to dolphins, they can take a small amount of puffer fish, a little bite, and there's something called tetrodotoxin. I'm saying it wrong, but that's what it is, and it gets them high. So dolphins will find a puffer, they'll take a bite, and they will pass it around their little pod. And they'll all take a little bite and get high together.
just I'm just picturing like the sharks that are snorting, the coke off the seals,
Yeah.
and they're just like, like swimming around, and then the dolphins are just like, yeah, just
They're
passing
like,
a
yeah,
puffer,
man.
just puffer,
Free
puffer pass,
huff off a puff, and there they go. They're like,
puff a
they're
puff.
blazed as a group. And I love that they share. They pass the same puffer around to their buddies and they all just get high together.
I
Could that be more indicative of what people that like to get high together do? Like puff, puff, pass. Come on now.
what is the funyun of the sea? You think they're down there just like eating like little funyuns, like little,
Yeah, like starfish or
yeah,
something, like
just
just snacking. Yeah, because you think they get the munchies. I wonder
little
if they
shrimp.
do eat a lot
They're just eating little
afterwards.
shrimps.
Shrimp. It's like a seafood buffet down there, so they can literally go at it.
Oh.
Like, I know. I think it's great. So anyway, I had to tell you that. I was like dying. So thank you to our listener for sending us that information so we can share it with the masses.
Dolphins, the potheads of the sea.
Who would have thought?
I love that. A little puffer pass.
Puffer Puffer Pass. I love it. I think that might be the name of this episode is Puffer Puffer Pass.
Puffer pass.
Done.
Oh my
Done.
god. Well, that makes me want to pop off with some pop culture pop off.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do
As
it.
you know, the Queen, Mother, Taylor Swift released an album. Now, if you
She
haven't
did
listened to the
mothers.
album, you need to do it, but you need to listen to it thrice. Okay.
Yeah, you really do.
First time you're
You
like,
really do.
I'm not getting it. Like these
Yeah,
all kind of sound similar. Second time you're
right.
like, okay, there's a few bops. Third time you're like, just
I hear the words now. Yeah, you
uh,
get it. I agree. If you're not listening to Taylor Swift, you're gonna really hate this because we are gonna get into some pop culture about her, but like, give us like a minute to just talk about the songs.
yes,
Of course, my boyfriend just really killed it on the
yeah,
album.
posty.
Post Malone. Have you seen the music video?
I have seen parts of it.
Okay. Well, it's very good. So Post Malone in the video, they take his tattoos off his face. If you don't know, Post Malone, Austin, if you will, we're on a first name basis.
Gotcha.
He tattooed his face because he always thought he was ugly. So he was like, I might as well and like put
Yeah,
shit on my face. And so it's interesting because in the music video, and part of the music video, they took his tattoos off his face. They covered him up.
yeah,
And people are like, all over TikTok and on Instagram, they're like, am I attracted to Post Malone?
yeah,
And I want to be like, bitches, get in line.
yeah.
I knew this forever.
Well,
Catch up.
it's the old saying: "You're not ugly, you're just poor."
Yeah, I mean, if I saw him on the
Ow!
street, I probably wouldn't give him a second look. But put him on a stage with a microphone in his little jorts,
Yeah,
doing his little dad dances, I
little
can't.
shit.
I stand
Yeah,
for Post Malone always and
yeah.
forever.
You know who's not a genuine person?
No, who?
Thank you, Amy. Capital K,
Ooh,
capital I, capital M,
Kim fucking Kardashian.
are the queens of celebrity culture, the Kardashians.
Absolutely.
But Kim is having a real hard time. She says, I think we should be done with this topic. And Taylor's
Sure, of
like,
course she
the
does.
fuck we are.
She's not done.
My favorite thing, why I love Taylor so much, is because that bitch is petty.
She is
She's
petty.
so
She's a
petty.
whole level.
Oh,
She's petty and she's rich. So her pettiness can be elevated beyond anything we can even imagine.
and she just waits. She just waits. She's been sitting on that for 2 years.
Yeah.
And it's a banger.
I feel like we should say, if you don't know what we're talking about, Taylor wrote a song called Thank You, Amy, all lowercase letters, but the K, the I,
And
and the M are capitalized.
yep.
And basically, it's a song to Kim Kardashian about what a petty bitch she is.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And I
it's good.
it's
It's
so
good.
good and I'm here for it. And I just love to see Kim squirm. She's not having it,
Well,
upset. And I
here's the thing I don't understand about Kim Kardashian. When she was married to Kanye West, I know she like defended her husband. I get all that. But they're not together now and Kanye has gone off the rails,
yeah.
okay? He is a shit show of a mess and I think he has made her life pretty miserable.
Yeah.
So, I understand as the father of her children, she doesn't want to speak poorly about him. I
Yeah.
completely understand. But at some point, why would you defend Kanye West anymore. No matter how talented of an artist he is, it's like the Morgan Wallen thing. He is a shit person.
Yep.
He is not a good person. And he created all this shit and Kim like had his back and jumped on his little fucking bandwagon and
Mhm.
now she is the one paying for it.
Yep.
I mean, from Taylor's perspective. So, I'll never get it. Like why? Why beef?
I know. So this all stems from
Yeah.
when Kanye released that song "Famous," and the
Yes.
line is like, "I made that bitch famous," talking about Taylor Swift, and
Mhm.
then he says, "I think Taylor might owe me sex,"
Yeah.
and they released a phone call, and it sounded like Taylor was like, "Yeah, that's a great idea," but what
Mhm.
they edited out was Taylor going, "I really need to think about this."
Yeah.
I
She was
don't
not on board.
Yeah, she's like, "I don't really like this vibe of it." She's like, "Your truth is
Yeah.
your truth, like, I'm not here to tell you how to write, but I
Yeah.
I personally am not on board with this."
Yeah, he basically sold it as Taylor was totally fine, and really
Mhm.
Taylor was not totally fine with this.
Yeah,
And
and they put an edited clip out.
yeah,
Kim released it that made it
yes,
sound
Kim
like
did.
she was, like, totally on board with it, which is
Yeah.
yeah, no. And then started dragging Taylor
Yeah.
and was like, "Oh,
Yeah,
she's
she
over
really
here
did.
trying to get sympathy. She's a whiner." Kim, you wrote a sex tape, literally wrote a sex tape to fame.
Yeah.
You prior to that, you were organizing Paris Hilton shoes.
Yeah, you were a personal assistant.
Yeah. So I mean, good for you for like being business smart. Like
Oh,
Kardashians,
she is.
you cannot deny the
No doubt.
Kardashians are business savvy. They've turned
They are.
shoe selection into a multi-million-dollar business.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah,
Now, I really don't think Kim Kardashian gives two shits about this song written about her
no,
because honestly, for her, I think all publicity is good
yeah,
publicity. So people are talking about her again.
yeah,
And so I don't know if she really cares that much, but I do think people you don't want to piss off are Taylor Swift fans for real.
yeah. You don't
It's
mess
interesting.
with Taylor the Swifties, and you don't mess with
No,
the Bayhive.
no, you really don't. Yeah, exactly.
Beyonce
Oh,
fans and
also,
Taylor Swift
speaking
fans.
of that,
Yeah,
speaking of that, Kelly, did you see about how some people now once again I'm going to bring up Post Malone,
yeah,
but did you see how some people are pissed at Post Malone? So Post Malone posted on Instagram and Facebook or whatever on his socials that I love you Beyonce with a picture of Beyonce's album cover when the album came out because obviously he was on her album.
yeah,
And Post Malone also posted a really nice thing about Taylor Swift being on her album as
yeah,
well, but he did multiple posts. There was like 2 posts and he wrote a longer thing
yeah.
to Taylor. And people are comparing the 2. Like Post Malone is being more appreciative or thankful to Taylor Swift than he is to Beyonce. And I'm like, "Come on." I mean,
People
come
look
on.
for anything to be mad.
I know. And beyond
You can't win. Yeah,
no.
I love how people just try to make stuff out of nothing.
Oh, well, but there's a bunch of crazy people out there that think Taylor Swift is a witch.
Yes, or the devil.
Yeah. That she's doing like satanic devil worship type of stuff on
Yes.
stage during her concert.
I went on this TikTok deep dive because TikTok is the most trusted news source. Uh,
Of
but
course, we knew that already.
there's all these moms that are like, she was a role model and now
Yeah.
she has explicit lyrics and
Yeah.
she's writing about how she hates God. And I was like, number one, she is a 34-year-old adult woman.
Right.
So, but maybe be
Right.
like, hey, I'm going to have you listen to Taylor's early stuff when she was a kid.
Yeah. A 16-year-old.
Yeah, when she was a 16-year-old singing about love. Um, the second point I would like to make is that what?
Yeah. What the hell are you talking about? You are so right. I am a mother and I agree with you 1,000%. Like Taylor Swift does not owe you an age appropriate album as a grown ass woman.
Yeah,
Like use some discernment as a parent,
yeah.
but she doesn't owe you shit.
To me, as a politically fluid person,
Mhm. Yeah, you are. I would say you are.
um, that when an election year is upon us and people think that she might not vote the way that they are voting,
Mhm.
and she has a massive following, that all of a sudden she is the devil.
Right. Right. Well, people that are hardcore Christians, I feel like they love to tell other Christians how they're supposed to worship,
Yeah,
like how they're supposed to believe. And they want all the freedom in the world to, and they should have it,
yeah,
to worship how they like and believe what they want.
yep,
But when it comes to a religion that is different than theirs,
yep,
like Muslims or Hindus or whatever,
yep.
they don't want that shit around. It's
Mhm.
like, and as somebody who I grew up very Christian, I went to a private Christian school till
Yep,
10th grade. I went to church twice a week. My biological paternal side of my family is all Muslim,
yep,
practicing. They
mhm,
live in the Middle East.
yep,
So I understand both sides of it. And I think you don't get to tell people how they identify being religious,
mhm.
Christian, spiritual, whatever. That it's so individualized and that is such a weapon.
Yeah. And and I'm coming from a place, church has never been a welcoming place for me. I was actually
Yeah.
kicked out of church when I was in just right before I made my confirmation. And so I always have, when people are like, well, the church says, I'm like, fuck the church. Like,
Yeah.
I'm also somebody who like, I have my own spiritual beliefs,
Yeah.
and I'm
That's
like,
great.
God doesn't care where you're at.
No.
So if your church is telling you that people aren't welcome, you're in the wrong place.
I agree with
You
you
know, there's
100%.
is there tons of great churches out there? Great. And
Yeah,
if you go to one, good for you. I'm proud of you.
I'm glad. Yeah,
However,
I'm glad.
I will always worship in the house of my house.
Yeah, I think that's just fine.
But funny story about that church is they like 2 years later they closed, and
Stop.
and my mom, who is like a very good human being, very nice
Yeah.
woman, she goes,
Yeah.
"See, God's punishing them." I was like, you know
Yes.
what, Sue, you're right.
You're right, Sue. Nailed it.
Yeah, but yeah. Oh my god. Well, I feel like I bumbled through that, but should we do
Yeah.
some Bumblebeat?
Yeah. I love it. I'm ready.
All right,
I'm
Becky, we
ready.
are on to the Bumblebeat here, and as you know, your job is to pick your pony. But
Okay.
today we're gonna read off these guys, and you're gonna tell me what type of song Taylor Swift would write about them.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is our Swifty edition.
Love it.
All right. So,
I got
suitor
to write.
number one, his name is Nate. He's 45. Immediately, that's a no for me.
Ooh. Interesting.
Not
Okay.
that he's 45, just that his name is Nate.
Oh, I understand. Okay.
The real ones know.
Everyone wants to know.
Nate describes himself as a fun-loving man looking for a strong, confident, and down-to-earth woman. No
Hmm.
drama.
Okay. We like that.
All right. Suitor number 2, his name is Nick. He's 46 and he loves real estate. He owns a brokerage firm and
Okay.
he owns 3 houses. And
Okay.
those are the only facts that Nick gives you or Nick gives you.
Oh. Oh, so we understand that he's rich. Got it.
Yep. So we know that he owns, and they're in Arizona, South Carolina, and Illinois.
Okay.
So, and then suitor number 3, his name is Patrick. He's 43. He is a pretty laid back kind of guy. He works a lot. He stays busy, but he loves to hang out with his friends, meet new people, and try new things. So, Becky, with those suitors, tell me which one of those is the love story and which one, which songs are Taylor writing about him?
Oh, man. Well, they all seem okay.
Yeah.
But okay, right off the bat, suitor number 2, Nick,
Yeah.
real estate, owner 3 houses. That it that is like it screams misogyny, it
Yeah.
screams patriarchy, so I think, like, the Taylor Swift song, "The Man," is, like, perfect for him,
Ooh,
so
you know which one off the new album? Smallest Man Who Ever Lived.
oh, "Smallest Man Who Ever
Yeah.
Lived," yes, that's gonna be a little more, like, if you're not familiar, but everyone knows "The Man,"
Yeah.
right? Like, that's, like I feel like he's
He's the
gonna
man she talked
show me
about.
pictures of his house,
Mhm.
he is gonna accidentally have his bank account open, he's gonna pull
Yes.
out his Amex Black card and throw it on the table, ugh.
Yes. But he'll also be the first to complain that women only want his money.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
right, yeah, but that's what he leads with,
Yes.
right,
That
correct.
is the
So,
only thing that he gives is what he owns. He doesn't
yeah,
give
there's no
anything
love
about
story with
himself because his 3 houses are his personality.
yeah, yeah, he's a finance bro,
Mhm.
for sure, that's a no. So, Nick is off the table. Boy, Nate and Patrick, they both sound
Yeah.
similar. I mean, I think that there's potentially, I feel like Nate would be then that was number 1, right, Nate? I think maybe he would be, like, a good partner because he wants a strong, independent partner. He maybe wants his lady to do her own thing.
Mhm.
So I would think that there's probably, like, a love story
Mm,
there.
yeah.
That's probably the one I would pick if I had to.
Okay.
Patrick sounds okay, though. The laid back and busy kinda makes me think, like, he might not text you back
Mm,
quickly.
that's a good point.
'Cause he's busy, also laid back, so maybe he, like, forgets his phone or it's dead all the time, or he reads your text and doesn't respond, and he leaves his read receipts on.
Yeah.
I can't stand that shit. Turn your read receipts off. So those are my red flags for him, for
Okay.
sure. So
Here's my thoughts here. Okay, so Nick, smallest man who ever lived, right? He's like,
yeah,
I have houses. This is my
no thanks.
personality.
Right.
So he's definitely giving off Maddie Healy vibes
Yeah,
with
for
that.
sure.
Um, Nate, at first glance, sounds great because you're like,
Uh-oh.
oh, he's looking for a confident, down to earth person.
Yeah.
Here's the red flag. He put in no drama. Now, in order to put something like that in there, you have had to experience a lot of drama.
Oh, that's true.
So that leads me to one of 2 conclusions. Conclusion number 1 would be that he is a softie who entertains dramatic women. Or
Mhm.
conclusion number 2 is that he creates the drama and then
Mm.
gaslights you into being like,
Oh,
"You're
shit.
crazy."
Ooh, yeah, that could be, and that's probably more likely.
So Nate he's out
Yeah,
for
okay.
several reasons. Number 1, his name is
Fair.
Nate. That's a red flag for
Can't do
me.
it. Yeah, you can't do
Number,
it.
number 2, the no drama.
So Patrick's the man for you.
So Patrick gives off a lot of green in that statement. Plus, he was also very handsome, which I know you don't get to look at
Oh,
these.
yeah,
Uh,
that's kind of unfair.
I know.
I can't see their faces, but you know what? That's probably better.
Yes,
So
yes.
did you swipe on Patrick?
I did swipe on Patrick.
Nice.
So we'll keep you updated
Okay.
as to what's going on. But, he just seems like a laid back dude that just is career focused, which I understand that.
I love it.
So, Patrick, he's my invisible string.
God, I hope he's listening. Oh, invisible string. Okay.
He might be the one.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Nice. Good one. Those, yeah, all look pretty good on paper. I'm not going to lie. So, minus the real estate. I mean,
Yeah.
excellent choices.
Okay.
Oh, man. Well, to segue to our last segment, we've thrown in a couple Florida stories in the past. We decided to make this maybe a segment that we rotate in with the ick of the week.
Yeah.
But what did we decide to call it, Kel?
The state of the nation.
The state of the nation. Here we go.
Sounds very official. Sounds very
It does.
political, which it's
I love it.
yeah.
But these are not.
State.
So we've decided with State of the Nation, we are going to share a story from a state. And we've done Florida because Florida is just full of them.
Mhm.
But I have one from Alabama for you.
Should we go in alphabetical order when we do these?
Is Alabama the first one?
Alabama, Alaska,
LA.
Arizona, Arkansas. I can go.
Oh, I don't know that song. I don't know it. But okay. So with Alabama, I got a story, and this is the headline. Alabama man tries to marry his computer.
Oh.
A Mountain Brook, Alabama man named Mark Seaver has made national headlines over the years for filing several federal lawsuits regarding his desire to marry his computer. He is on a mission to preserve the, quote, integrity of the Constitution. We know what kind of guy this is. Him and his red hat have been at the Capitol trying to get this taken care of. So he has filed several federal lawsuits trying to make it legal for him to marry his Apple computer, which he wanted to marry in New Mexico, which was not recognized, obviously, there. But he went back to his home state and tried to get the state to recognize the union or issue him a marriage license to get married to his Apple computer.
Well, some people will do anything but go to therapy.
For real. You could get therapy on your Apple computer.
It reminds me of that woman that married the pirate ghost. Have you ever heard the story?
No.
Like, she was like an Irish woman. She married this like pirate ghost. And then she had to get divorced because he was cheating on her.
Stop it. Oh my God. Have you seen that TV show, My Strange Addiction?
Yes.
That one woman was in a relationship with a carnival ride, or the guy that was in relationship with blow up pool floaties.
I feel like there's probably a lot of people guys in relationships with blow up pool floaties.
I tell you, you want to go down a rabbit hole, start watching My Strange Addiction.
Yes.
That show.
Have you seen the pony play episode?
Yeah, I've seen them all. It's a lot. You know what the worst one is on that show? The woman that was eating her dead husband's ashes.
No.
Like liquor.
That's the ick of the week.
That's terrifying. And I don't know. Anyway, yeah.
Damn.
What? Yeah, My Strange Addiction. Boy, I might have to watch that. I may have to download a couple episodes for my trip. Yeah.
I'm just watching the episode.
Oh man. Well, we tackled some good shit this week.
Oh man. Should we wrap it up?
I think we should wrap it up.
Well, thank you for listening to the Lewd Mood podcast. I'm Kelly.
And I'm Becky.
Bye.
Bye. Lewd Mood podcast is produced by Kelly Lally and Becky Pospisil.
Music by Paul Size of Red Beat Entertainment.
Listen to our podcast anytime on Spotify Podcasts.
Follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Lewd Mood